Some kids slip through the cracks without ever making a sound. Gary walks the halls like a shadow, quiet, thoughtful, and burdened by more than anyone knows. The bullying doesn't leave bruises you can see, but it wears him down just the same. Being ignored can hurt just as much as being mocked. And while he may seem invisible, Gary is full of unseen strength and quiet hopes. His story is a reminder that behind every silent face there might be a storm, and that sometimes the smallest act of kindness can help someone hold on a little longer. This is Gary's story. Gary slammed his locker shut, the sound ringing through the hallway like a sharp echo. He flinched, eyes darting quickly to the boys standing by the water fountain. Jake, Tom, and Max. They were laughing like it was just another day, like nothing ever bothered them. "Watch out, Gary. You might get hurt if you lean too hard on that thing. Wouldn't want another accident," Jake sneered, his voice thick with sarcasm. Gary's stomach dropped. His hand tightened around the books in his arms. The same group of guys, the same taunts. They were always around when he least wanted them to be. He could already feel his heartbeat quicken, and the tightness in his chest made it hard to breathe. It was like this every day. He glanced at the locker, the scuff marks on the metal from when they shoved it too hard, the dent in the corner from when it was slammed shut in his face last week. Gary's mouth went dry. The locker felt like a prison, one he couldn't escape no matter how many times he tried. He didn't even want to open it anymore. But there he was, standing in front of it, trying to pretend like it wasn't all happening, trying to pretend like they didn't notice him. Jake was still smirking. "You should really be more careful, man. Wouldn't want another thing to break, would we?" He chuckled with the other two, who joined in with laughs that sounded more like mockery than humor. Gary didn't answer. He never did. Words never came when they needed to. Why was it always like that? Later he'd think of something he might have said, but that didn't help him now. And now his stomach twisted as he shuffled his feet and avoided their eyes. He could already feel the sting of the whispers they were sure to share the moment he turned away. And he did. He turned away and walked toward the classroom, trying to ignore the weight of their eyes on his back. The hallway seemed endless. Every step felt like it was dragging him deeper into a place he couldn't escape from. His head dropped, and he couldn't stop thinking about the taunts. They had called him weak, but it wasn't weakness. It was just being invisible. Every time they spoke, it was like he was nothing, like he didn't even matter. His mom didn't get it. His dad? Well, his dad didn't even care. He'd just tell Gary to toughen up and get over it, like the world wasn't filled with people who would step on him to feel better about themselves. Gary wanted to scream, wanted to yell at them, but the words got stuck in his throat. He wasn't like Jake or Max or Tom. He didn't have the right words, the right kind of toughness to stand up for himself. He pushed open the door to his next class, the bell already ringing in his ears. He barely noticed the sounds. His mind was still on the hallway, on the boys by the fountain. On the way, his heart still raced. His eyes scanned the room for an empty desk, and for the first time that day, his gaze didn't fall to the floor. He looked around the room looking for somewhere to sit, someone to sit by. His eyes met Mrs. Thompson's for just a moment. She stood at the front of the classroom, a small smile tugging at her lips. She gave him a quick, knowing nod, and for some reason, it made Gary's heart skip. He didn't know why. Maybe it was because she didn't act like he was invisible. She had always been kind to him, even when no one else bothered to be. But she didn't say anything this time. She just nodded, like she understood. And that small gesture, that moment of acknowledgement, made the tightness in his chest loosen for a second. Maybe she saw him. Maybe someone out there saw him. He sat down at his desk, but the relief didn't last long. He was still trapped in the same world, still invisible, still alone. The bell rang again, but Gary didn't even hear it. His mind kept replaying the same thoughts. The taunts, the locker slamming, the way Jake's voice had echoed in his head. It wasn't much, But maybe, just maybe, there was someone out there who saw him. Someone who wouldn't look away. And for a brief moment, that gave him a flicker of hope. Just a flicker.